Ladies and gents, hello and welcome. My name, of course, is Potato. This is Unite the Anglosphere in Hearts of Iron 4, and let's get right into it. I'm hoping that we can make some serious progress in this episode, because we didn't make a whole bunch of progress in the last one, and I want to return us to form. We have just finished researching Mediterranean Bastion. I think that probably we want to continue down in this area. At the moment, we do have the ability to do the King's Party, which we are actually going to do right about now, because we need to get that completely underway. How are we doing in terms of production? We're just going to run it at 4 times. Let's check our logistics. We certainly do need to start producing way more inventory equipment than we currently are producing. Construction-wise, Yugoslavian aircraft purchase, whatever, not a big deal. We're training a whole bunch of dudes at the moment. We're also working on our navy. We should definitely be playing. We should probably have a little look and see what is going on over here. See if there's anything of interest for us. Building a cruiser hull at the moment. We're just going to finish out all of these boats. But we do need to see if we can actually maybe see if we can build something a little bit better. We need one of the required modules. One of the required modules is indeed missing. Super heavy battery. Anti-air. Yeah, don't need any of that nonsense. What was one of the required? What was one of the required things? And yeah, we can't build this yet because it's way over the limit for us. So we are going to withdraw from the treaty. But oh boy, this is going to be a long time before we can actually build this to this degree. But I don't think there is any indication of what module is actually required, or what module I need to research in order to build the super heavy battleship. That's not a problem, though. Construction, yep, I think we probably want to jump right on into construction. It's early in 1937 anyway, so let's do that. Dockyard has just come online. We'll probably just throw it into more hulls. We're actually doing pretty darn well when it comes to steel and trade in general. We don't really have anything to complain about, so what we maybe could look at doing is maybe changing our export focus. We need to think about changing these things anyway, but I mean, we're not really in a position to be changing anything at the moment, so that's also something that we'll need to bear in mind. We are shortly going to be able to, very, very shortly in fact, going to be able to start producing. Pakistan declared war on India. Am I going to get called into that one? I'm not, because the colonies have already all left me. They don't have any time for me. Improved airport catapult. Nice. Yeah, no indication. No indication if I have a little look at the heavy battleship. I don't really know. I do not really know what module I'm missing. Yep, no real idea. No real idea whatsoever. Mine warfare? No. Yeah, no, I don't really know. We're just gonna roll with it, really. See what happens. Do I need to get you? Active sonar? Maybe I need to get active sonar. Maybe that's the one that I need. It would make sense, given that it is under destroyers, but I don't know. We'll see. It doesn't particularly matter for now, because we're not able to build this this darn boat anyway, since we're still part of the conference treaty, naval treaty. This is the naval treaty. Yeah, so we want to withdraw from the treaty, but unfortunately, world tension is not high enough. The Polish-Romanian alliance. That's interesting. That's not something that that you see very often, but hey ho. What's going on over here? This dude's just adding a couple of extra building slots, getting ready for obviously the big war. It's to be expected, really. We are gaining army experience slightly slowly, but that's not a problem. We're also gaining navy experience, which is kind of fine. We should probably have a little look at what we can do with regards to our with regards to our Admiralty, and also with regards to... No, that's not what I wanted to do. I did not want to re-equip. I wanted you to stay in charge there. Well, actually... Yeah, all of these guys have a capacity of 10, so it doesn't particularly matter. More what I was thinking about was seeing if we could score any upgrades. You're still available for a promotion. Montgomery, he's not available for promotion, but this guy is available for promotion. So that is something that we might very well think about. Okay, Italy's just finished up its war in Ethiopia. That's fine. I think honestly we should probably deploy Monty here, and we can assign a brand new trait. What do we want? Planning speed, max planning, defense plus 10. Truthfully, I think we probably want to go for... Yeah, he's got the offensive doctrine already. So let's set up the fast planning. The fast planning modifier, because I feel that that's probably going to come in slightly more useful than anything else. Dockyards, let's just continue to devote more and more dockyards to building cruiser hulls. That's not a problem. We can just about deal with that. Meanwhile, we're building a whole bunch of infantry equipment. Everything seems to be going pretty darn smoothly, if I do say so myself. We do need to start building regular old troops, and we actually need to start thinking about what we want to actually truly who we want to truly train up. Are we currently building tanks? We are currently building light tanks. So I think that we might want to continue building light tanks. We build 3 a week. 3 light tanks a week is not terrible at all, actually. So maybe we should start training up a tank brigade or 2, although we need 180 light tanks in order to make this happen. So we could devote a couple more factories. In time towards a tank brigade. Start training up a tank brigade in the West Midlands in Birmingham. We'll also start training up... let's go for 2 divisions. 2 divisions at a time of infantry. Unfortunately, we don't have enough to fully train up a second at the same time, but that's not a problem. As I say, we can wait. We're not really in any particular rush at this moment in time, so we can just sort of wait it out. Let's equip more submarines. That's fine. And destroyer hulls. These guys are all going to lapse out once we're done over there. Once they're done building their single ship, these dockyards are going to retire and we will get access to them, which is going to be really, really nice. Bombers, aircraft, that's something that we haven't really touched upon yet, but that's something that we will need to certainly look at in time. The King's Party. Oh yes, this is a big one. This is a big one for us. So, as you can see, our flag has changed. Our leader is now King Edward VIII. Political power gain minus 30%, stability plus 5%, justify war goal time minus 25%. Nice, 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 nice. And what's really interesting is that it actually gives us a whole bunch of extra people to choose from. So for example, Winston Churchill, he'll give us plus 10% war support and daily support for unaligned. David Lloyd George, political power gain plus 15%. Oswald Mosley, stability plus 5%, consumer goods factories minus 5%. That's what we actually want to do. Sylvia Pankhurst. Anyone else that is immediately recognizable to me? Yeah, George Orwell, of course, the communist. Clement Attlee as well. Those are the names that stick out to me. And yeah, that's definitely very, very cool. I like that. Also, it's worth noting that the world tension has gone up slightly. It says it's at 2%, but supposedly it's allowing us to... Oh, yes. Current ruling party is not democratic, so therefore we're able to get access to all of these extra talents, or all of these extra national focuses, which is pretty darn good. I'm pretty happy with that. So let's have a little look at the King's Party tree and see what we really want to go down. God Save the King. This would give us base stability +5. Edward loses inexperienced imperialist, which is actually really, really nice. That would be really, really, really good, because it would mean that we would start recovering some political power, because holy cow, we lose a lot. Reassess continental commitments, remove national spirit, the war to end all wars, gain 5 base war support. What is France doing at the moment? Let's take a little look. I mean, I'm not particularly... They've got that alliance with Czechoslovakia, which will inevitably call them into war against Germany. I'm not really sure if I care about them going to war against Germany, to be honest. So I'm kind of just going to sit this one out, I think. We're going for Unite the Anglosphere, obviously. But that doesn't particularly matter. I think that we probably want to have a non-interference treaty with Germany. Take out the Regia Marina. So that is something which will allow us to go to war against Italy. Now, Italy has not got any alliance. It's not really got any relations, except the fact that it guarantees Albania. Fine, don't really care. And it also is... nationalist Spain has volunteers from Italy. That's completely understandable, to be honest. But it doesn't look like the big man over here is making any reach to try and... Can we have a look at the opinion map mode, please? Is that a thing that I can even do? I guess not. I guess I... Oh, yep. There we go. Doesn't look like Germany's super into anyone, although maybe I'm just using the wrong map mode. Whatever the case, it doesn't particularly matter. We're going to try and reassess our continental commitments. Yeah. Yeah, I think that we need to play it safe. We need to play it safe. So let's start with this. Reassessing our continental commitments at first seems like a pretty darn good idea. Edward VIII empowers King Party. God save the king. Amen. Amen to that. That's great. Decisions. We can take some decisions, apparently. Military parade in British Malaya. Nice. Daily political power cost plus 0.5. British Malaya mobilization speed. I don't really care about that, to be honest. What is the situation in British Malaya, actually? We need to keep an eye on our territorial areas. Daily support for unaligned. We do actually need to make sure that these guys... I mean, they're democratic. There's no elections. Doesn't particularly matter. I guess we can eventually turn them into non-aligned, but it won't really matter as long as they're a loyal puppet state. And at the moment, I don't suspect any reason for them not to be military dictatorship. What would that give us? Is it really worth it? Gains political turmoil. Stability minus 10%. Public elections will not be held. I mean, public elections are not held anyway, so it doesn't particularly matter for all intents and purposes. India and Pakistan have signed a white peace. That's fine. I'm okay with that. We need to go into the naval overview, and I think that we're probably going to activate naval training on almost everyone. This will mean that we will wear down a little bit of fuel, but that's fine because I think that we're waiting for excavation to complete. We no longer get the effects from a change of course. That's not a problem. We need some way to get political power back, and we also need to start developing our excavation. That's really, really important. Okay, construction. How's construction going? We're about to finish off on 2 civilian factories, which I'm pretty darned excited about, actually. The more civilian factories, the better. We're building a couple more dockyards as well, which is good. Always nice to make sure that we're doing that. Logistics-wise, we are still short of tanks. And I think for that reason, we probably want to queue up a couple of military factories in order just to make sure that we're gonna work with some military factories before the war actually starts. There's no point in having a whole bunch of civilian factories if military factories, blah, 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 blah. You get the picture. But we also want to build more, I say build more, we probably want to actually think about building a synthetic refinery and certainly, almost certainly anyway, a fuel silo. We're going to need a fuel silo. It's remarkably cheap in comparison to a civilian factory, but it would be really, really, really nice. The other thing that affects our fuel is... Which one is it? It's not limited conscription, active sonar, it's civilian economy. Yeah, so fuel capacity is minus 20%. Whereas if we bump it up to early mobilization, or in fact partial mobilization, whatever, doesn't particularly matter, then that would be good. We want to try and get to war support, you know, 50% war support pretty much as soon as possible. Not like it really matters at this stage, but it's always a good thing just to try and increase your war support. Okie doke. Do I care about any of this stuff? Not particularly. I do care about getting excavation too, but we can't get that until we got construction, as we talked about a little bit earlier. Production efficiency cap plus 10%. I mean, this is one of those things, right? Is that I rate it really, really highly. And the other thing that I always do is whenever we play a game, I always love going the industry tab. I think it's fantastic. It's really, really good. It's really, really good. All right. Doesn't look like anything untoward is going on in Europe. Not yet, anyway. The Netherlands is not doing anything particularly suspicious, even though it's worth noting that the Netherlands was one of the protect against Britain. Germany is the greater threat. Germany is definitely the greater threat, buddy. You don't got to worry about me. Yeah, Netherlands had a completely overhauled, expanded national focus tree. So that's really, really cool. I like that. I like that a lot. Alright, you are currently working away. We're training up our troops. Has anyone... we need to set up some troops. We'll just set them to spawn in London. Sure, the greater London area. That seems fair enough. We are still waiting on a couple more tanks to be delivered. Part of me wants to reduce the number of factories that we have devoted to making infantry equipment. We're making 57 a day, which is actually nothing to sniff at. We're gonna need all of that infantry equipment. Don't get me wrong, that is absolutely something that we're gonna need, but we're not gonna need it for a while. So we could think about moving some support away from that. Radar, getting radar set up, that would be really, really advantageous. Fuel refining, fuel gain from oil plus 20%. That's also really, really nice. That's gonna take 222 days though. I want to perhaps maybe see if I can get an industrial bonus to go hand in hand with that. So I'm going to hold off on building that at least for now. Navy doctrine. Are we still researching a Navy doctrine? We're not actually researching a Navy doctrine at the moment. Submarine surface detection. Subsidiary carrier role. I think that we probably always want to be researching a Navy doctrine. To me, that seems logical. I'll take destroyer sub-detection chance. Sure. Unassigned divisions. Yeah, we do actually need to start organizing our divisions into areas. Yep. I think that we probably... Well, it depends who we go to war with, really. Depends who we go to war with in terms of organizing divisions into different areas, because I probably want to have like a... a northern Africa protection squad. Yeah. I also think I want to increase my Mediterranean fleet. Mediterranean Command has got a couple of ships, but it's not as many as I think I'd like to have down there. But again, it depends who we go to war with, so we're gonna have to hold off on that for a little bit. Ideally, we'd ship a couple of troops down here. And that, in fact, is what we could do. We'll need to get everyone moved to a naval base, but everyone will be totally fine with that. Great. As I say, it depends who we go to war with, but I'm 90% certain that I'm not going to be needing these troops in the UK. So let's ship them around. Let's ship them around. What does that do? Extra supplies. Interesting. Right, there we go. More troops over there. We'll add these guys to, I guess, North African Command. I guess we will at least always have a North African Command. I do feel also that North African Command should be run by Monty over here. So I think we'll probably assign Monty over in this area. And who else? Alan Brook, max entrenchment. Max entrenchment plus 30% is actually not terrible. I would actually like to have someone that has the defensive doctrine. Yeah, someone who has the defensive doctrine would be perfect to defend the UK. Yeah, great. Alright, that's pretty darn perfect. We need to stop our naval training exercises. Monty's being deployed at the moment, so that's fine. Yes, let's stop all of this training, please. Can we not? Why can I not do this? Alright, there we go. Did that work? That did not work. Why do you not want to... Why do you not want to stop operating? There we go, look. I don't really want to go through all these guys manually. But I will if I have to. Right, there we go. Stop the training. We need to build up. We need to build up our reserves of fuel. Because we're transporting people at the moment. And I don't exactly want them to get stuck midway. Right, there we go. So we'll be able to build up a couple of bits of fuel. Scrape together some fuel. Okay, so one of the things that I did want to do is I wanted to try and get, yeah, a research bonus for industry. That'd be kind of nice to go in step with the researching of the excavation policy. But as I say, I also want to try and like recover some political power. I also want to get God Save the King. What I think we should probably do is God Save the King. This is my ideal path, right? God Save the King. And then let's immediately parlay that into the Shadow Scheme. And then into industrial effort and extra research slot. Because I think we want to try and get ourselves an extra research slot. Accidents from training. Hopefully we're able to repair everything. I don't think there's anything that's irreparable. But there we go. Good work, everyone. Have the troops arrived yet? They are certainly en route. And they will be arriving very, very shortly. Yeah, they're not fully organized, but that's not a problem. They've not got any plan. Again, not a huge problem. We need to keep in mind the supply areas. We don't actually have much infrastructure in these areas, so that's maybe something that we can think about working on. But that's something that we're going to be working on in the next episode, because that's it for now, ladies and gents. A progress-filled episode. I was actually pretty darn happy with the amount of progress that we've made. We're certainly heading towards something. I don't know who it's war with, but in the initial stages of the game anyway, it probably will not be Germany. That's the plan as it stands anyway. Ladies and gents, thank you very, very much for watching. I've been Overpotato. This has been Hearts of Iron, Unite the Anglosphere. I'll see you next time. Bye.